Good evening, everybody. Ed Talaskis here, Random Walk Trading. Thursday, June 29th. Getting ready for the big 4th of July bash. Most of you getting ready for your family vacations, going to the beach, having a good time. I hear you. So, interesting day in the market. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Let's go ahead and get a little housekeeping done. Just a reminder, no peak of the week starting on Sunday, and I'm going to take a little vacation next week, so I'll be back on Sunday the 9th for the next peak of the week session. So, but I will peek in every now and then, depending what the market does. I can always get dragged away if I get an email. I'll be looking at those as well. Let's go ahead and get our disclaimer out of the way. And as you know, Random Walk is not a broker-dealer, nor investment advisor. This presentation is for educational purposes only. We don't know your situation and what level of risk is right for you. We are not making any specific trade recommendations, as the risk of trading options can be substantial, so please be careful before placing any trades in your brokerage platform. Actual P&L can vary and be affected by liquidity, commissions, and slippage. And if you can't make it, you get a recording. And I got the GDP numbers, jobless claims out. Didn't buoy the markets too much, and then the market decided to take a turn to the downside, which was nice. I think the VIX actually hit around 15, a little over 15 momentarily, and then retreated back. Tomorrow we got the personal outcome outlays at 8:30, and then the Chicago PMI and consumer sentiment out around 10 o'clock-ish, and the Baker's rig count at 1 o'clock. I think we might see a little bit more action as institutions kind of get their portfolios kind of shaped up. They're going to be selling some winners to lock in some gains, so they can show their clients how their quarter went, and other firms maybe getting some positions ready for the next quarter. So we will see. But the bears did make an appearance today, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. So S&P was actually down. Yeah, it's hard to say the word down. So usually it's been up. Down almost 0.9%, down 21, almost 21 points at 24.19. And then the Russell lost 9 points, down 0.64%, ending at 1416 and change. And the index lost the most, 1.7%, down 100 points at 56.53. Trend still, relatively bullish, but based upon the volume. The volume was definitely higher. Yesterday I talked about we went up on low volume, and that was a red flag. Today we got the down move with heavy volume, so definite selling by institutions going on. Let's take on the Nasdaq, pretty much as you can tell, a little bit on the bearish side, but then it started to recover toward the end of the day. So we can see that we hit the low right after about 1 o'clock, 1:15ish, and then we kind of slowly just went sideways, just melted up ever so slightly. Let's just here. And there's our high for our VIX at 1516. So it was looking pretty good in the morning until we hit the low, and then the VIX quickly retreated back down to 1175 in the markets. So interesting day, to say the least. And I will give you one guess. I had a doctor's appointment today, and I put in the chat room, and they're running gag anytime I go on vacation or go somewhere. The markets usually fall. Well, guess what time I had my appointment this morning? It was at 10:45. So at 10:45, looking at the markets, and it's like, looks like another day. And then I get out about an hour and a half later, and the market was down quite nicely. And I was like, So he said I need to take more doctor's appointments or take more vacation. So if I'm going to be off next week, that may be a good sign. Don't know. But majority of the time, markets fall when I'm not around. So go figure. But let's go ahead and get the trade of the day out of the way. And I thought we'd look at a internet network company, Arista Networks. It's been a nice little bullish run, and it has touched the 50-day and came up, and then it's made another touch of the 50-day. A little bit lower volume, so still somewhat bullish. IV rank at 53%, and so what we can do for a bullish type setup, we can do a unbalanced condor, call condor to the upside. So I'm buying the 5 spreads of the 155, 170 call spreads, and then I'm selling 4 times as many of the 170, 175 spreads for 20 in this case, and putting that unbalanced call condor on for $1.45, and I want to finance it by with the 145, 140 put spreads collecting $1.65. So this is a directional play, obviously, and like I said, I'm using the proceeds from the put spread to help finance the unbalanced call condor to the upside, because I have a long-term bullishness to it, but I think it may take its time. But we have a nice, long spread here that we can sell things against as it kind of goes up. The plus or minus 1 standard deviation is shaded here, so on the upside about almost 171 on the upside. Downside looking just under 130. But to put the trade on, you can get it on for $1 credit based upon 5 contracts, or about 20 cents per contract. So this is a 5 lot that we're putting on here, so 5 times 20 gives us the $1 that we put on. So, and if you want to try to work it and get a little bit more, like we usually, 10% more credit and 10% cheaper on debits, say 175, and you can go $1.25. You can get to that 250 and have a nice little setup. So if you've got a bullishness in Arista Networks, this may be a potential play to take a peek at.